Hey guys, I want to talk to you about something super real today. Something that I know a lot of you are struggling with because trust me, I was there for years. We're talking about laziness, procrastination, that heavy feeling of I'll do it tomorrow, the cycle of knowing you should be productive, but somehow you keep pushing things back, distracting yourself with your phone, Netflix, video games, or whatever your escape of choice is. And the worst part? Deep down, you know you're wasting your time, you know you're capable of more, but you just can't seem to break out of it. That guilt eats at you, but somehow it doesn't change your behavior. Sound familiar? Well, let me tell you. A few years ago, I was one of the laziest people you could ever meet. And I don't say that lightly. I'm talking sleeping until 11 a.m., doing nothing all day, pretending I'd start tomorrow lazy. But then something unexpected happened to me, almost by accident, that completely flipped the script. I discovered a method so simple that at first I didn't believe it would work, but it did. And it worked so well that I can confidently say I cured my laziness. Not temporarily, not for a week, I'm talking long-term. I became consistent, productive, and honestly, a totally different person. So in this article, I want to share that story with you. I'll break it down into 3 parts. 1, my struggle with laziness, so you know I'm not just making this up. 2, the accidental discovery that changed everything. And 3, the science behind why it works so you can understand and trust the process. By the end, you'll not only know my method, you'll know exactly how to apply it in your own life. And the best part? It's ridiculously easy. No complicated systems, no painful discipline hacks, just one simple habit that leverages your body's own chemistry. Ready? Let's dive in. Part 1. Confessions of a Professional Slacker. Okay, let's rewind about 6 or 7 years. At that time, I was, in one word, lazy. I had big dreams, sure. I wanted to start projects, build things, change my life, but the reality? My days looked like this. Wake up at 10 or 11 a.m., sometimes even later, scroll my phone, watch random videos, maybe grab some food, tell myself I'll start in a bit, sit at my desk, open my laptop, and then just feel totally unmotivated. Put it off until later, I'll do it tomorrow, tomorrow will be different. Distract myself with games, social media, or going out for coffee with friends. And end the day feeling guilty, but somehow repeat the exact same thing the next day. I wasn't in school anymore, so there was no teacher forcing me to show up. I was trying to be my own boss, which sounds cool, but the truth is, if you don't have discipline yet, freedom can be dangerous. I had no accountability, no external pressure. And because I didn't see immediate results from anything I tried, I'd give up quickly. You know that feeling when you try something, but it seems like it's not paying off right away? That was me. I get frustrated, quit, and sink deeper into laziness. At first, it almost felt fun to live like that. Like, haha, I don't have to do anything, I can just chill. But soon enough, that fun turned into guilt. I felt like a failure. I felt useless. And the more I judged myself, the harder it became to change my behavior. I'd make plans, set goals, even write to-do lists. But when the time came, I always found myself saying, I'll start tomorrow. And tomorrow never came. If you're not in your head right now, trust me, I've been exactly where you are. Part 2. The accidental discovery that changed everything. Now let me tell you about the day everything changed. It was a cold morning in Saigon. Yep, it does get cold there sometimes. Just like any other day, I woke up late. I'd already hit snooze like 10 times. By the time I rolled out of bed, it was almost 10 a.m. I ate something, came back to my room, and just sat there staring at my laptop. I had things I knew I needed to do. I had plans, but I just couldn't bring myself to start. Everything felt boring. Even the internet felt boring. I'd already watched all the shows, scrolled through everything. I was restless, stuck, and honestly, kind of depressed. So I thought, screw it. I'm just going to go outside. I slipped on my shoes and walked out the door. No destination, just walked. I ended up heading toward a nearby park. The air was cool, and for once I wasn't staring at a screen. I just walked slowly, looking at the trees, the people around me, the little things I usually ignored. At first it felt, okay. But then something interesting happened. After about 30 minutes of walking, suddenly I felt different. My body felt lighter. My mood lifted. I wasn't angry at myself anymore. I wasn't bored. I felt good. Actually, I felt great. There was this strange sense of energy, like my body had just turned on a happy switch. My mind felt clear. I even started having little ideas pop into my head, things I could do, things I wanted to write down. It was like magic. And then it hit me. What if I used this feeling to get work done? So, I walked straight into a coffee shop, ordered a drink I liked, pulled out a notebook, and started writing. And holy crap, I was focused, like laser focused. I banged out pages of work in no time. Stuff that I'd been procrastinating on for weeks, I suddenly finished in one sitting. I couldn't believe it. I went from feeling like a useless slacker to being insanely productive, all in the span of an hour. And all I had to do was take a walk? From that day on, I decided to test it. Every time I had something important to do, instead of forcing myself to sit down immediately, which never worked, I'd first go for a walk, about 20 to 30 minutes. Sometimes I'd time it so that my walk ended at a coffee shop. Sometimes I'd just circle back home. But I always made sure to start working right after that walk. And every single time, the same thing happened. My body was buzzing, my mood was high, and my productivity skyrocketed. It was like finding a cheat code for laziness.
Part 3. The secret weapon is already inside you. Now here's the cool part. At first, I thought this was just some weird personal trick, like maybe it only worked for me. But later, I did some research, and guess what? Science totally backs this up. When you exercise, even something as simple as walking, your body releases a cocktail of chemicals. Endorphins, natural painkillers that also make you feel good. Dopamine, the reward chemical that gives you motivation. Serotonin improves your mood and fights anxiety. Adrenaline gives you energy and focus. Oxytocin helps you feel connected and positive. Put all of that together and boom, you feel high. Not in a drug sense, but in a totally natural, safe, sustainable way. That's why runners talk about runner's high. And here's the kicker. Your brain doesn't care why those chemicals are flowing. It just reacts, which means you can literally hack your body's biology to break free from laziness. Instead of trying to force yourself to have willpower when you're already tired and unmotivated, you simply go move your body, trigger the happy chemicals, and ride that wave of energy straight into your work. It's not about discipline anymore. It's about leverage. Think of it like this. If you try to throw a spear with your bare hand, maybe you'll get it 20 feet. But if you put that spear on a bow or use a catapult, suddenly you can launch it hundreds of feet. That's what walking, or any exercise, does for your motivation. It's the lever that multiplies your effort. Okay, so enough theory. Let's talk about how you can use this starting today. Step 1. Pick your movement. It doesn't have to be running. It doesn't even have to be intense. For me, walking is enough. For you, maybe jogging feels better. Some people like dicing. Others prefer dancing, lifting weights, or even jumping rope. The key is it has to get your body moving for at least 20 to 30 minutes. Step 2. Time it right. Don't try this right after a huge meal. You'll just feel sluggish. And obviously don't do it when you're sick. The sweet spot is when you're about to start work, but feel that resistance, I don't feel like it. That's when you lace up your shoes and go. Step 3. Anchor it to a reward. I like to end my walks at a coffee shop. That way I associate the good feeling with a little treat, my favorite drink, and then, boom, I get straight into work mode. If you work from home, you can just walk around your neighborhood and then come back, shower, and immediately start working at your desk. Step 4. Protect the experience. Get a decent pair of shoes so your feet don't hurt. Don't overload yourself with a heavy backpack or laptop while walking. That turns it into a chore instead of a joy. Keep it light. Step 5. Repeat, repeat, repeat. The more you do this, the more your brain learns, oh, after I move my body, I feel great and I get stuff done. Over time, laziness loses its grip because you've built a system that always gets you into flow. The science bonus: why it works even when you're tired. Here's something fascinating I discovered later. Researchers at the University of Georgia found that when you're stressed or exhausted, your instinct is to rest, to lie down, binge watch something, scroll your phone. But in reality, exercise restores your energy up to 3 times better than passive rest. In other words, when you feel drained, moving your body actually recharges you more than sitting still. That blew my mind. It explained exactly why my accidental walk had worked so well. It's like a domino effect. You move, your body releases happy chemicals, your brain lights up, you feel motivated, you get work done, you feel proud, which makes you want to keep going. Why this works for everyone. Yes, even you. Now, I can already hear some of you saying, but I'm not into fitness. I'm not a runner. I don't have time for exercise. Listen, I'm not a fitness guy either. I wasn't an athlete. I didn't even like sports. When I first started, I literally just walked around the block. That's it. You don't need to be in shape. You don't need fancy gear. You just need to move. And here's the beauty of it. Your body will respond no matter what. Whether you're 18 or 58, whether you're out of shape or fit, your biology is wired the same way. Movement triggers chemicals. Chemicals shift your mood. Mood creates action. That's the formula. My life after breaking laziness. So what happened after I started using this trick regularly? Well, slowly but surely, I transformed. I went from being the guy who couldn't even start one project to being the guy who consistently showed up, created, and delivered. I started making videos, writing content, building habits, and once people saw me doing it week after week, they assumed I was naturally disciplined. But the truth? I wasn't. I just hacked my laziness with this method. Now, years later, I'm more productive than I ever thought possible. And it all started with one simple 30-minute walk. Final thoughts. Your turn. If you take one thing away from this entire story, let it be this: don't fight laziness with willpower. Hack it with biology. You don't need to beat yourself up. You don't need to wait for motivation to magically appear. You just need to move your body, trigger your natural high, and ride that wave of energy straight into your work. It worked for me, it worked for countless others, and I promise, if you give it an honest try, it'll work for you too. So tomorrow morning, when you feel that familiar urge to procrastinate, don't stay stuck. Put on your shoes, step outside, walk for 20 to 30 minutes. Let your body do the work for you. Then sit down, open your laptop, and watch the magic happen. Say goodbye to laziness. Say hello to the best version of yourself. Thank you for reading. See you in the next Clarity Flame lecture.